Well, you guessed it. This video is all about hydration. So as runners, we sweat a lot. And it's really smart because our body uses sweat to cool us down. However, if we don't replace this fluid that is lost, we run the risk of becoming dehydrated. So when we're dehydrated, our mental function decreases, our muscles lose strength and fatigue, and our heart has to work harder to pump blood around our body. So water has many functions within the body, but a couple of the main ones is it helps to regulate blood volume, and it also helps to regulate our body temperature. In this video, I want to talk you through how you can maintain and stay hydrated throughout your day and throughout training, and the importance of consuming electrolytes. Now, anytime throughout the day, we should be regularly drinking. Our urine should be straw-coloured, pale. That is the key to staying hydrated. It's having little water stations wherever you are, if you work from home, in the office, and making sure that you're drinking every half an hour to an hour. Now, before we go out running, the rule of thumb is within 2 hours of your training session, you want to consume between 500 and 600 ml of water. So you don't want to be guzzling too much water, as this can really cause GI issues. Now, during your training, this is where things get a bit trickier. So if your training session is longer than half an hour, 45 minutes, you're going to look at taking on hydration in the form of water and electrolytes. The rule of thumb with this is every half an hour, you should be drinking about 150 to 300 ml of water. Now, this is going to vary for everyone, as you may be a heavy sweater or, training in a hotter environment where you're losing more fluid. So you will have to do a trial and error with how much liquid you consume per half hour. Now, when it comes to replacing electrolytes lost, this is really important. So the aim is to consume about 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium an hour when you're out running. And this is beyond that hour mark. Now, we don't recommend just consuming salt and water alone. So a pinch of salt will provide you with about 400 milligrams of sodium, because salt really only has sodium and chloride in it. However, if you're consuming electrolytes in the tablet form that companies produce, and a couple of those I'll share soon, they contain magnesium, calcium, potassium, and sodium. So some of the brands that I like are Noon and UCAN, and Sam and Beck will also have a couple of theirs that they can share with you in the community as well. So make sure you ask them what their favorite brands are. So when you're out running, you want to make sure that you are consuming electrolytes along with your water. Because if you are just consuming water alone and heaps of water, it's quite rare, but you can run the risk of developing what they call hyponatremia, which is basically when the sodium levels within your body become so displaced and unbalanced that cell functions within your body start to become impaired, and it's really dangerous and it can lead to coma and death. So of course this is very rare, but that's why you want to be making sure that you are consuming electrolytes and not just water alone. So when you've finished your run, you'll obviously continue sweating. So a method you can use, you can weigh yourself before your run and after your run. Now, it's not necessary, but for example, if you lost a kilo, that equates to a litre of water. And the aim is to replace 150% thereabouts within the hours following. So if you lost 1.2 kilos, then obviously you'd replace about 1.6 to 1.8 litres of water. And you need to just keep drinking throughout the day as well. So don't think I'm going to guzzle 1.5 litres of water now and be good. Just, you need to keep sipping. So some really practical tips that you can do if you're out running is pick where you're going to run. So if you're not carrying a Camelback or a flask with water on it, maybe you can plan your run around some parks where there's some drink stations. And another tip as well is if you forget to drink, just set yourself a timer for every half hour just to take the sips of water that you need to keep you hydrated. So when you're hydrated, it's going to lead to better performance and better recovery. If you become dehydrated, you're going to experience those muscle cramps, quicker fatigue. So remember, when you're starting to feel thirsty, if you have a dry mouth, or you notice that your urine is really dark, then you probably need to drink more water. Now, I'm gonna keep drinking my cup of water to make sure I stay hydrated. I hope you guys do the same.